Welcome to another episode of Rec Talk. Today we've got Liz Pinks. Liz Pinks of LPMR formerly, and now you've moved on to Ventures New, haven't you?
Yes, you're a marketing coach. You're get the name right. You're a marketing career coach.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Is it still a work in progress?
Yeah, it is, a little bit.
You're a marketing career coach. That's like the most SEO friendly business name ever, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like Liz Pinks Marketing Recruitment. Who are you? What do you do?
I'm Liz Pinks and I do marketing recruitment.
That's right, yeah.
So, one of the things that you're kind of a big advocate of is candidate journey, right?
Yeah.
So, like your entire career within recruitment, you kind of say a lot about like, I make sure the candidates know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
You're always reachable as well, aren't you?
Yes. Out of hours, terrible.
Used to get you into a lot of hot water with former employers, I'm sure.
Yes, it did. They always said that I spent too long with the candidates and was too nice to them as well. But then I always got the repeat business when things, went wrong. So they'd be shouting at their candidates to say, you wasted my time. And I'd be like, hey, it's your career. It's the most important thing at the moment. So good luck. And then they come back to me.
How is that even cause for a conversation? You're too nice to people. Like,
Honestly, when we did we did a psychometric test once, practicing it for something, and all these animals came out of I can't remember what it was now, but we had bears, tigers, lions. Guess what I was?
Possum.
Dolphin. I was a dolphin. Thank you.
Play dead until the threat goes away.
I was dolphin.
Dolphins are nice. Well, actually, dolphins aren't as nice as people think they are.
Oh, really?
No, they're predators. They're apex predator, I think.
Oh.
Are they?
Yeah.
But I was thinking, maybe that's not so bad then.
Check that, Nathan. Is a dolphin an apex predator? I'm pretty sure dolphins are apex predators.
Maybe they're not so bad then. But the whole thing was
seem nice.
Yes, and happy and smiley and clever.
Mm-hmm. Dolphins are apex predators. Top of their food chain.
Maybe not so bad then.
Top of your food chain, Liz. That's where you are.
That's why you were one of the top abilities.
Yes, I was about to
you
say.
You did the dolphin attitude.
Yeah.
I'm nice. I'm apprachable.
But don't mess with
people
me.
come to SeaWorld to cuddle me, but equally, I'll kill you.
I'll bite your face off.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, bit the face of marketing recruitment. Love it.
Yeah.
That's great. So so you were a dolphin then. So in that particular psychometric test then, what did the dolphin mean?
I can't remember, but it wasn't like everyone else. I genuinely can't.
You literally just surface read that and were like, dolphin,
totally.
Yeah, that's me. That's all.
I like dolphins.
I did actually say dolphins.
It's better than a possum.
It was basically a worm or something. But it was basically like everyone else was like a rabid, sharp-toothed animal, and I wasn't.
Well,
and
you were, but you just didn't know you were.
That's it. A secret. Yeah. But I think it was my manager at the time said something like, "You're not going to last. You're not going to last. You're too nice." It actually got said to me at my interview as well, but then I just found my own way of doing it. I found my own way of doing recruitment, and it worked for me. So
by the time you left, then had the culture changed within the business where they were like, actually, do you know what?
We need more dolphins.
Yes,
we need more dolphins.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So there you go. There's a feather in your cap.
Yeah, and I never looked at it like that. Yeah, but then
Welcome
I suppose
to silver lining everything.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's true.
Except for my career.
Yeah. But I think all businesses had to change, didn't they? Because in the 1990s, when recruitment was like aggressive and really.
Well, it was the window sales of business.
That's
wasn't
it. Exactly.
The what, you mean the late 1900s?
Yes, late 1900s. My apologies. Yes.
I think my son says that to me all the time. He's 13, right, and he's like, "Yeah, well, you guys were born in the 1900s."
Yeah.
I'm like, "You're not going to make it."
1900s.
Yeah, it's like you're not going to make it to the next year, mate. Like you keep saying stuff like that.
That's it. Yeah. So and business, we had recruitment had to evolve because it wasn't going down well anymore. Companies weren't really accepting the behaviour. Or the way that they've been sold to and not looked after. So yeah, it did change.
But how
it's funny because
incredibly
it's the same thing's happening again, isn't it? Because again, if you think about when we joined recruitment in like the mid 2010s. Oh god.
Yeah. So I was 2003.
About 10 years ago, we joined recruitment, and thinking about, certainly from my point of view, the market the way it is now versus what was prevalent then has changed loads as well. Because again, I feel like this time around, candidates are demanding more.
Yeah.
You know, the information age that we're in and whatnot, actually, candidates are a lot more wised up to, no, I'm not going to tell you where I'm interviewing. No, I'm not going to give you my reference points. No, I'm not going to do these things that you think are really clever, but actually,
I know.
I know what you're doing. Yeah. I've watched enough TikToks to know what you're trying to do here.
Exactly.
You know? So yeah, it's funny that you've kind of been through that once, and then we're at that point again, right?
Yeah, that's it. But because I didn't work on hundreds of vacancies. I'd work on a small amount of good ones.
Fillable jobs.
And generally exclusive as well. So I'd spend the time with the candidates because I knew that it would help them get the job that they wanted, but it would help, get the candidate that should get the job. So I suppose now I think more and more candidates are demanding that extra bit of coaching or extra bit of help or support, because they realise that they're equally important, because the client pays the bill, but they can't win nothing without the candidate.
Yeah, but also, I mean, you can, for a lot of good recruiters, your clients are your candidates as well.
Yes, exactly.
So if and I can name so many of my clients who were my candidates, and so many of my candidates who were my clients, because they trust you to do the job right for them. And the candidates that you're bringing through the process, they would have either been through that journey, or they're so familiar with how you do it, where they're like, I know that candidates that come to me through this person are going to have had all of these different checks, all of these processes followed.
That's right.
They've been briefed on the role properly. They'll be honest about what my team does.
Yeah.
They're not going to lie about anything in that process, so that by the time they get to me, we should have a very good conversation.
Exactly.
And also, what a nod it is when your client says, "Listen, I'm on the market. Like, can you help me out?"
Yeah,
exactly.
so you know you've done it right.
And they trust you, and
do you think longevity and lack of foresight plays into that? Right, in the I went into recruitment knowing that this is what I wanted to do. It wasn't one of those things. A lot of people say, "Oh, I fell into recruitment. I didn't know I was going to do it." Hang on a second. I applied to work in recruitment, didn't I?
I did as well, actually.
I didn't get the job the first time around. I went back to it.
But you also ended up in recruitment because
I also got sold to. Yeah. Well, no, fair. But also, I realised that my options were becoming increasingly limited. And I had to, by this point, I had 10 jobs on my CV in 8 years.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, this has got to work.
Spanning across 4 different industries.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Right? So point being, I went into recruitment knowing that I need longevity here, right? For whatever my reasons being. That's probably a fairer way of putting it.
It's a dangerous industry to be in.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people that fall into recruitment. So because they don't have that foresight of, I'm going to be here in a year's time, 2 years' time, 3 years' time, I should probably give my candidates that service, because actually this is what's going to... all the best billers and all the ones that do really, really well always say, my first year was my most important, because that was the foundations, the building blocks, giving good service to those people who I knew were going to come back to me in year 2, 3, 4 and so on. But if you go in with the mentality that I don't really know why I'm doing this, I don't really want to be doing this, I'm now doing this, I'm going to just hit numbers.
But you think about how many times, certainly at places that we've been, where, and even here actually, we've been guilty of it here, where we've had somebody interview for us for another type of role, and we've been like, you're not right for that, actually, why don't you do recruitment?
Because anybody can do it.
Yeah, because anybody, but it's true though, isn't it? And people end up going into it because they're like, look, at the end of the day, I want a job. So
it's not rocket science. It's an art, I shall say.
Yeah, I mean, look, you went in there, and Bert, you kind of went down the route of, look, why don't you give
No, it's true. We did the same with Tom.
Yeah, you did the same.
Tom's coming up to a year and a half with us now, and he came in for a business admin apprenticeship, and I was sat there chatting to him, and I was like, mate, you need to do recruitment. Like you're likable, you're well articulated. You understand complex kind of sort of CVs and things that people are looking for and that kind of thing. So maybe you give this a go rather than the business admin thing that you've come to do.
Yeah,
and he's doing great.
So why do you think candidate journey was so important for you then?
I just think that your career is one of the most important decisions you'll ever make. It's the top four things, isn't it? Baby, move house, marriage. Career. Then you got divorce. We won't talk about that. But so I just understood that. So it's really, really important that that person feels like you recognise that, and because it's such an important decision, you're helping them decide on where to go, and that they're going to be happy somewhere. So I guess from a journey point of view, you mean like from when they...
Yeah, so obviously, at places that you've been before, you're too nice to your candidates, you're spending too much time with them, right? So why do you think you were able to kind of almost use a crystal ball and see that?
Yeah, sort of swim against the grain and go, no.
I think because I'm a dolphin. I think because I didn't like confrontation, and I'm not that sort of... I am quite a nice person, if I can say that. Too nice a person. I was quite soft and like wasn't very good at standing up for myself, I guess, if I can say that. So back in the day...
You are allowed to say that, nobody's judging.
Okay, good. So I was probably... It probably wasn't actually that deliberate. I kind of...
Just nice by nature.
So it wasn't a commercial decision. You didn't look at this process of recruitment and go, no. The focus needs to be on the candidate, because actually these candidates are going to come back to me as hiring managers and future hiring managers.
I realised that afterwards.
That was just so product of just so happened to be okay. That kind of fell into place. Yes. That worked out well.
Yeah, and then I kind of stuck with that because I thought that works.
So how long did that process take you to figure out that this is working?
20 years. Now probably it's different in sales. We were structured differently in sales recruitment, which I did before. So I did marketing recruitment for 12 years, probably more now actually. So probably quite early on, I suppose, because it changed from being a very siloed position to doing a 360. And then when I did the 360 and I had more control over the whole process, I spent more time with the candidates and they were so shocked at how much help I was giving them that it was a closer relationship, and then they started coming back to me more, and it evolved, I suppose, about a year or so, something like that.
Do you think that was the industry though? Because marketing guys love that sort of nurturing type of thing, don't they?
Yeah, possibly, yeah, because I've only ever done sales and marketing, so I wouldn't actually know.
Because I mean, on the accounting and finance side, we've always done the interview prep thing. We've always kind of gone through look, let's go through X, Y, Z. But that's always been very much kind of facts and figures. And then where we help out and chip in is always the interview techniques and how to say things, what to say, and all that.
Yeah.
But I know that some of the guys that we've got upstairs tend to struggle when it comes to locking candidates in for things like interview prep. Because
really?
Because they're like, no, we don't want to do it.
Oh, okay. Oh, really? Gosh.
Yeah,
I insisted on doing it every single time. They had to have a brief with me before going to the interview.
Yeah, well, that's what we always had. You book an interview.
It's about positioning, though, isn't it? Because the way you positioned that then was you have to, before you go to the interview. You've got to.
Yeah.
Because you're destroying your chances of getting this job or whatever the reason.
I have to tell you this information. It's in my head.
We have. I've got to get it out. It's driving me nuts.
Yeah.
No, I think the guys upstairs. I think it's probably about positioning, because actually Tash, who is better at kind of candidate control and positioning,
she religiously does it.
Yeah. There's not a single candidate that goes to interview her who hasn't had at least a 20-minute Teams with her.
Yeah.
Whereas I think if you think about the development areas of the two that aren't doing it, or struggle to get the buy-in for interview prep.
Yeah, it's candidate control, isn't it?
Their overall issue is candidate control, which I imagine, from your perspective, if you think talking candidate journey, I imagine in terms of dropout numbers and people letting you down as a recruiter, numbers were probably a lot stronger than the rest of your teams, right?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. I'll tell you another reason for that. I created this form, so when I was briefing candidates on their role to start with, I'd make them fill out a form which was about the role. They'd have to check out the commute, they'd have to check out the website, what the role's doing, their suitability, and then they have to give me 3 reasons why they wanted the job and 3 reasons why they thought they'd be good for the job. And if they didn't do that, they weren't interested. So the ones that did, and also it helped reduce duplications, because the roles I had that weren't exclusive, they have to tick a box saying that I was the first recruiter to talk about the role. And clients like this as well, because I send that form to the client, so they've got a voice. They can hear from the candidate why they're interested in their job. What did I call it? Candidate consent form. And it was all done online through Zoho. I used Zoho, and so it was easy. So I sent the job description with a link to that. They fill it out. It comes back to me with a tailored CV. I like Rebecca Pay's thing about that, tailor every single time.
She was on here as well.
Yeah, that's it. That's why I said it. Yeah, I binge watched them all, didn't I? So that part of the journey actually was sorted out the week from the draft, and the ones. So therefore, the fact that they've done that, they're way more committed already to that role.
100%.
Yeah. And to be honest with you, I didn't actually meet them until I sent them. I could telephone interview people and know they were fine. And the reason why I insisted on having the brief was because that would be face to face. So if there was a major problem, then I never had to do it, but I'd cancel the interview.
Fascinating.
But I never had to do that.
And did you do this before you went? Did you do this while you were running your own business?
Yeah.
Or was this before that as well?
Before that as well, I kind of created that.
Almost the building blocks were coming into place, and then when you set up on your own, you're like, this is how I'm doing it.
It's time. You know, you're running a business and you're doing everything. Literally, such a shock. It was such a shock to me. I was so naive. Such a shock to me what I had to do other than the recruitment bit. You know, I thought I was going to have the laptop and my mobile and just literally
just go at it.
But it's so not like that.
It is, honestly. Like, we always say it all the time. We were lucky because it was me and him.
Yeah.
And we've kind of had the same sort of training. We've got the same foundation, so our mindset has always been very, very similar.
It's good.
And the strengths that knitting has complement the development areas that I have, and the strengths that I have complement the development areas that knitting has.
Is that like me and David?
Yeah, and we were really fortunate in that sense, and kind of we were quite aligned, and we ended up having a good accountant as well.
See, that helps.
That always helps.
That helps. Yeah. I wish I'd found the accountant I had at the end. I had 3. I wish I'd found him. If I'd had him at the start, I think I'd still be doing that.
Really?
Yeah, he was really good.
Who was it? Give him a shout.
James Fox.
James Fox. What firm? Is it his own firm?
Yeah, it is now. Yeah. He used to work for Pentland, and then now he's doing his own thing.
How are you going to be called James Fox and still not be like, I insist to be called Jamie
Fox?
Yeah.
You
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he's really good.
Okay, so you go on, you set up your own recruitment business.
Yeah, so you've got this consent form and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
You've kind of taken the candidate experience to the forefront. That's the thing.
Yes.
Do you think that perhaps played into the eventual kind of wind down of the business?
Possibly.
Were you possibly too candidate focused?
Yeah. So actually,
I'm trying to say that in like a not like an attacking. Is that where you went wrong?
No.
More of a,
I don't know. I don't think so actually, because I didn't do enough BD. Absolutely, hands up.
Then if you're so candidate focused, you're never going to win.
Yeah, but do you know, I got it so efficient in the end because I had loads of everything on automate. Everything was automated, so all the time was taken. Was writing the advert. I'd spent ages doing that because I found it worked. I'd write a specific advert, so I wasn't just doing it for volume. I was doing it to fill the job.
Did you do the Mitch Sullivan course?
No, I didn't. Did you not? No. No, I just did it myself because I know exactly what my clients look. I know what the pain points of the candidates were, and I just wrote the advert opposite of that, basically. So, so that really worked. 100% of my jobs were filled by my adverts.
Wow.
Yeah, which is quite rare. So I spent ages doing the advert, and I'm not a quick writer. I wish I'd chat
GPT.
Yeah. Then
or job ad builder by Rectals.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the time would be taken was calling through the candidates to brief them on the initial CV influx, and the briefing. So. And everything else was automated, so I kind of got it quite a slick machine in the end.
So how much time were you taking then in terms of the candidate calls?
So that was quite a long time, but a lot of them would be in the evening. So I spend at least 45 minutes on a junior, and it could be up to an hour and a half with a senior. So it was quite a long time. So I think a couple of times I briefed somebody too well and they got a job they shouldn't have got. I spent that long.
Well, that's it. The four senior candidate calls, and that's like 6 hours of your day, isn't it?
That's true.
There's your working day done. Yeah. So where's your BD then?
That's true. Exactly. Yeah.
So what were you doing with BD then?
Didn't do any.
You didn't do any.
No, it was terrible. I should have.
So were you picking up work then through
word of mouth, or just
referrals?
People that knew me? I was amazed. I was so flattered when I set up that. Well, that's a lie. I did do some BD when I first set up, obviously, to let people know. But I did that kind of before I even launched, and then when I launched, I got people coming to me quite a lot, and it wasn't enough. I should have done some BD. Absolutely, should have done some BD.
Junior recruiters out there, if you're listening, it doesn't matter what level you're at, right?
You have to do well. Or
even
some sort
experienced recruiters. So we had this, right? We had a portfolio between us of about 15 clients.
Yeah.
Who we were convinced were like, as soon as we set up, we're going to get these clients.
That's it. That happened to me as well.
Some of them said.
Yeah, some of them said.
Guys, just set up and we'll
come with
get
you.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the
Do you know
PSL.
how many actually worked with us in our first 6 months?
How many?
0.
Big fat zero.
We had 0. We had no candidates, no clients on our database when we first set up, and we're sat there and we're like, what the fuck are we going to do?
Yeah. You got the phone, didn't it?
Yeah, that's what we did. We were in the Holiday Inn, and we sat there. We were sat there BDing
all day long.
It started off in my fucking dining room at first, wasn't it? And then we were like, look, we can't keep working out here because
me and him wouldn't leave me alone for starters.
Yeah, he was a bit on the fucking sexual predator side. But yeah, no. So we started off in the dining room, and then that got too loud, didn't it? And we were just like, look, we need a bit more space where like me and him could just split off.
Yeah.
And we spent the first few weeks just BDing and BDing, and then we picked up a few jobs, and then all of a sudden it was like, right, now we're starting to get into the flow of things.
That's it.
But so again, a message to the billers out there that are convinced that no, I've got clients that'll come with me when I set up. It doesn't always work out that way. No. And you've got to be doing BD all day long. We tell the guys upstairs, I don't care how many jobs you've got on. I don't care what your pipeline's looking like. I don't care how much you've built this month or you've got ready for next month. Yeah. Keep BDing. Keep BDing.
Absolutely.
The minute you take your foot off the gas,
yes,
you feel it. Maybe not today, but you feel it a month or two down the line.
Absolutely, yeah.
So again, going back to our sort of top biller, Tash, she's our best performing consultant at the minute, in terms of a full 360 role, but she had an influx of loads of temp jobs that she picked up, filled them all, did a really great job, and every single day I was like, have you done BD? No, not yet.
Filling these jobs I got.
Yeah. And then it was like, I'm on a great day because I filled all these jobs. It's and, like, right. And then the following week, where's all your jobs? Well, I filled them all.
Yeah. What do you do now? Exactly. And that's why you have to keep your hand in it, but I just didn't. Yeah. So I hold my hands up to that, absolutely.
So what about your senior candidates that you would have placed then? So you would have placed sort of senior marketing directors and senior managers and whatnot. Did they ever come back to you and be like, Liz, listen, here's a couple of roles? Is that where the bulk of your jobs came from?
Absolutely, yeah. Well, no, it wasn't so much that. I did have that. It was just people that knew me. So you have that covenants thing.
It's not worth the paper it's fucking
kind of didn't. I went to my old boss, actually, we had a really good relationship, and I said, I'm not going to be an idiot, but if people want to work with me, I've got my house to feed. Yeah. And they sort of turned a blind eye, so I was really, really lucky. But I didn't take...
Well, they hired you knowing what your market presence was and what people thought about you as well, right?
Well, then that's where I trained with to start with, so I was from a graduate.
Right, okay.
Then I went to PATH, and then I went back to BMS. Yeah. And then I set it from there. Yeah, I went back for a year, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And it's really good to start with, and then I think I don't know... I got to itchy feet. I just needed to give it a go, and I thought I was going to have to wait 12 months because that was what they changed it. But I went to my director and just said, "This is what I want to do. I'm not going to take over the world. I'm not going to be a threat. I just want a lifestyle business that Yeah. And he gave me a blessing, thank God. So I just didn't take the piss. I just didn't I didn't take the piss. I just quietly did my own thing, and because there were some clients that were always going to come with me, they just didn't have loads of roles.
Yeah, so the volume just wasn't.
That's right. Yeah. And I suppose looking back, I could have made a living from what I had, from the amount of vacancies I had, but I absolutely should have done some, if not BD, some like inbound marketing. Proper inbound marketing campaigns. That's what I wanted to do, was to get it all coming to me.
It's still not enough though, is it? Because I mean,
you have to build those relationships, don't you?
For love or money, you have to BD. Yeah, it doesn't work without it.
Absolutely. And that was my downfall. I didn't do, apart from right at the start, I didn't do any.
Is that where you think then it didn't work out in the long run? Then?
And the fact that every single decision I made in the business, I'd do differently. I could really talk all day about how not to run a recruitment company. I just didn't have the business. I'm coming from two teachers, parents of teachers, very risk averse. Would I can't believe you're doing this,
Yeah.
And I didn't have the nous, I just didn't, and I didn't look into it. I just assumed I'd be able to pick my laptop up and carry on. And every decision I made was, apart from Zoho, was good. Everything else.
Did you have investors?
No.
Did you have a back office set up or a middle office
incubator,
like an incubator, or anybody sort of supporting things like invoicing, chasing invoices?
No, just that rubbish accountant. I didn't do any temps, I only did perms.
So what made you go down that route then?
Because I've only ever done perms.
No, sorry. The not going for an incubator or not having somebody that does your invoice financing and therefore...
I'm going to take a punt before you even answer this. I'm going to go down the route of you didn't know it existed.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. It's so naive. It's unbelievable.
No, you're not. It's fucking scary how little information is out there when it comes to the infrastructure that you need in terms of setting up a business.
I'm going to be honest. I kind of drew you to that.
Okay.
Because that's why we set Rectals up.
Yes.
Because...
Yes.
There's so many people and there's so many different ways of running a recruitment business. That like there's not a one size fits all. You know,
Absolutely.
you could have somebody come to you and go, "I'll tell you what, Liz, I'm going to bankroll you for the first year. I want 35% of your business. I'll give you a year's salary, right? However, you can't hire David." You'd have probably gone, "Doesn't work for me, mate.
Yeah.
Sorry."
Yeah.
Sean could have come to you and gone, "I'll bankroll you for a year. I'll give you 50 grand in the bank, so you've got a cash flow there. You can hire your husband in. That's absolutely fine. No problem with that. However, I want 65% of your business, and you are not a person of significant control." And then you go, "I'm not sure if that's right for me."
Yeah.
And then you have somebody else say, "Hey, I can give you a CRM, a fully functional CRM. All of your invoices, because you're perm heavy, that's fine. We like perm business because it's all it's all kind of like, you know, there's an audit trail here for me. So we'll give you, we will pay you out 85% of the invoice value, and we keep 15. Before that, we'll do your invoicing. We'll run your bank account. We'll keep your VAT money to a side, and then every time your VAT bill's due, we'll pay that directly into your account or directly to the VAT man if you'd like.
Yeah.
And we'll do all of these things for you and incubate your business.
Yes.
You're the shareholder, 100%. You do whatever you want to do. We're not giving you any money. We're just going to run your middle and back office for you. That'd have probably been like,
Sign me up.
where do I start, right?
Absolutely.
And those things exist, but they're not all available in one place, and that's exactly how we started.
Ah, right.
Yeah. Because giving up equity was not on the table.
No,
you know?
absolutely.
We didn't want someone to bankroll us. We're like, "Listen, if you're going to give me 50 grand, I can get 50 grand myself from the bank. I don't need you to give me that."
Yeah.
You know, so you're not having any equity. All I need is a CRM.
Yes.
And right now we don't understand how the financing side works. So look after that for me until I'm ready to be able to be like, "I get it now. I can do this for myself." And that worked great for us. And so we went with a company called 3R Finance, and we always say good things about them because actually,
Shout out to Mike and Chris.
for the first sort of 2-3
Kim.
years of running our business, while we were a lifestyle business, they were perfect.
Yeah.
It was only when we started to want to grow and scale and all that sort of stuff that we were like, "Okay, we need to take this away now." But that was almost the reason we set up Rec Tools, because it's like all of this stuff needs to be in one place. So if you're a top biller and you're like, "I want to do this for myself," but all I've ever heard is it's horrible out there, and you know, we're going to get you, and we're going to do this, we're going to do that.
Yeah.
You go onto Rec Tools and you have a little look, and you're like, "Oh, here's an entire category dedicated to starting up."
Brilliant.
An
Yeah.
entire category of here's all
really
the people
cool.
that can either invest in me or provide me a back
That's
office
wicked.
solution or all
That's
these
so
different
good.
things.
Write me out some terms of business and you know, just
that's
like marketing, CRMs, like
Everything like
invoice
that.
finance, all of that sort of stuff.
Yeah, that's
But honestly,
amazing.
and
That's
again,
really good.
what it comes down, because did David join the business after you'd set up?
No, we did it
Joined
together. Yeah.
So but he never came from recruitment though, did he? No. So because me and Nitin came from recruitment, we kind of knew the right Google searches around. Because I think we spoke to investors, and after we spoke to investors, we were like, "Look, let's just Google what else is out there." And we stumbled across 3R, didn't we? Really?
We did. Yeah. It was something we went out. We were not like, "Oh yeah, there's this thing called a recruitment incubator. That's what we need."
Yeah.
We just sort of found them through their marketing efforts of SEO and whatnot, and we were like, "Oh yeah, this suits us better." And I remember the first, because you had the initial conversation with him and you got off the phone and you were like, "That sounds really good." And the first thing I asked you was, "How much equity do they want?" And you were like, "Nothing."
No, what?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the cynic in him was straight away. It was like, "Well, okay, but what else do they want?"
Yeah, what do they want?
Because we'd sat
You have to
with
do
like venture capitalists and stuff, and they were like, "Guys, we will take a chunk of your business. You can buy it back off us, but we'll give you a massive steroid injection and give you an office, and you can give you a budget to hire 10 staff straight away, and so on and so forth." And we were like, "That sounds great, but I really think that we could probably get there ourselves a lot longer than it's going to take for going with these guys. But we keep everything. I'd rather keep everything."
And it's a bit of pressure. It's a bit.
I don't want to work for anyone. The whole point in
totally.
You can't take money off an investor and then be like, "But I want to do it my way." Leave me alone. That ain't right.
No,
you can't spend someone else's money and then be like, "I want to do it my way anyway."
Exactly.
But also, you wouldn't have been able to get your hands on 10 recruiters.
No.
Who would have come on that journey with you?
Who's going to take that leap with you? Yeah.
No one.
They need to see you do it first.
Exactly. It's hard enough getting one good recruiter. Let alone
Would you do it again?
Yeah, I would.
You'd go back and do it again?
I would do it again because now I know what not to do. But I'd have to wait for my parents to they would keel over if I said I was doing it again, because they've supported me for a year longer than I should have done. COVID hit, my juicy 10 jobs went overnight.
That was a horrible time though, wasn't it?
And I tried to do a bit of candidate coaching then, but I didn't have a clue what I was doing, wasn't charging enough money, blah, 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 blah. And then I just didn't quite get back to where I was, and I think I'd lost a bit of love. I'd lost the will by then, so I wasn't even doing what I should have been doing. I wasn't even doing the warm calling or the keep in touch calls that I was, and so it just all went horribly wrong. Really.
People don't really appreciate when you've had your ass kicked left, right, and centre when you're running your own business, and you've heard no after no after no, and your jobs have been pulled, and the attempts you had out have been taken. Like it's several gut punches in a row is enough for someone to be like, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. Right, I'm going to take a break. And it just so happened that when we were in lockdown, the weather was amazing.
I know.
My week turned into 3 weeks, which turned into I took summer off. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, that's it. And the kids were at home, had to homeschool as well. So it's like it was a tough time. That was. Yeah,
I suppose again, you're a family unit at the end of the day. So it's not as though you could have just been like, at least with us we had. Right, I've got the kids during this time to this time, so I'll work on it at this point. You work on it at this point.
Yeah,
and we kind of split the workload out. With you guys, it was literally just crap. What do we do with the kids?
Exactly. And they just, to be honest, they just did get homeschooled. Sometimes.
It's not your job.
Exactly.
No,
but that's
but also, I mean, the schools weren't equipped to be able to homeschool. So I mean,
right.
but
the first time, the original lockdown.
So my son at the time was 5, not 5. He was in year 5, sorry, and my daughter was only like 2, I think, maybe 2 or 3.
Yeah.
I'm not asking him.
Yeah.
So she was only maybe 2, and like my eldest, he only had, I think, like 8 sheets of homework that was given to him, which was supposed to last like, what was the first lockdown? Was like 3 weeks? No, 6 weeks, wasn't it?
6 weeks.
6 weeks, whatever it was. 12, but he had 8 sheets of homework, and it was just like, okay, but like this is basic stuff that he can do in a day. So like within the first 5 days, he'd finished everything, and we were like, right, now he's going to sit here for like 6 weeks doing nothing,
just
playing games.
So we had to Google all sorts of weird and wonderful like
Twinkle,
and the GCSE bite size and all that.
I don't know what they would. My wife is a deputy head teacher.
Was she?
At a primary school, and I'll tell you now, during that kind of initial lockdown period, where who knows what's happening. And we're all looking at Boris, and Boris is supposed to come on and tell us what's going on, and extends it again, and we're like, this zombie virus is going to get us. Yeah. She was on Teams call after Teams call after Teams call for hours on end.
Really?
And I was like, what are you doing? Because all I'm hearing from all my friends and all my family that have got kids are saying, well, the teachers aren't doing very much. We're not getting any support.
Absolutely.
We're not having this. We've not got any homework to do. And I'm like, what are you doing all day? Like, you just sat there talking about the news or something. Like, I don't get what's happening. You're on these really important Zoom calls while I'm sat there pulling my hair out like, we've had more temps finish. Oh my God. That job that we thought was going to happen isn't happening. And like, the kids.
The kids are going mad. Yeah. I can imagine it. What's she doing?
I still don't know. I don't know what she does half the time. Like, I really don't. I think most people like my wife who have only ever been in the teaching world and left school and went straight into teaching. Went from school to college to sixth form and then university and then went into. They haven't left the education world. They don't understand what a real working day is like.
Absolutely.
And I argue with this all the time with her because she's like, teachers' workloads, and I'm like, listen, don't talk about teachers' workloads. Right? If you think working till the amount of hours that you have to work is bad, try doing that in an office where then you go to HR and you go, how much holiday entitlement have I got? And they go, 20 days plus your bank holidays.
Yes.
And you try then having kids and be like, right, I've got my 20 days or 25 days and you've got your 25 days. And that doesn't quite make up all the school holidays.
That's right.
Mom, dad, or someone, can you have my kids?
Yes, exactly.
Like, try having those pressures and then talk to me about workload.
Yes.
And then it's just, oh, you wouldn't understand.
Yeah.
Of course I wouldn't understand. Yeah. I work in the real world. That's
exactly.
Why.
Yeah.
So you've obviously you were really good at the yeah, I'm saving your ass before you watch these.
Shouldn't watch this shit.
Edit that bit out.
So you've obviously had this journey of sort of years of developing your candidate process, right? And dedicating. I mean, you marketing candidates, you better appreciate the hour and a half that she spent talking to you guys.
It was too long. Look, it was too long.
Yeah, the least you could
should be ashamed of yourself.
I know, the least you could have done was call her and give her a job to work.
Yeah, exactly.
Set up a GoFundMe, right? All of your former candidates.
Oh yeah, that'd be good.
Banding together.
Yes,
do you know what I mean?
That'd be good.
So you've obviously then kind of developed a process, and is your kind of your marketing coaching now about let me give that candidate experience a tagline and let me kind of show you what you should be getting.
Yeah, it's kind of like a massive version of that It's an even bigger version of that.
3 hours.
Yeah,
3 hours.
5 days.
5 days.
5 days star candidate boot camp. So each day is focused on a different bit of the journey. So you've got I do like a. It sounds airy-fairy, but like a mindset kind of thing, and preparing you for your job search. Then the CV is one day, then the interview is the next day, then the second interview and often salaries. They're not all the same length, but there's 5 days in a row. So eventually it's going to be live to start with, but eventually they'll be able to have it on video so they can do it at their own pace. But typically I did it like that because if you're looking for a job now, you don't want a 12-week course. But at the end of it, and now I know how to look for a job.
Yeah, and the job that I really wanted
is gone.
It's gone. It's been filled. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's structured like that. So and that is everything. But before that, there's a free webinar which is like a much slimmer version of that.
Like a taster.
Taster, yes, about an hour.
About crap dealer mentality.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a little bit. Yeah.
You'll be back.
Yeah.
They always.
But it is actually genuinely helpful as well. There is stuff in there
that tactic is used throughout marketing.
Yeah, that's it. I didn't want to be sneaky about it, but it does give them.
But it's like a free trial.
Do you know what? You've got to get out of that mentality.
Yes,
honestly, I had this with Rectals when we first started. We're not going to capture customer data. We're not going to ask people to sign in. We're not going to do this, not going to do that. Because I was like, because people are wising up to it. We don't want people to be like, oh, you can just sell data, because no, we don't.
Yeah.
And it was like, no one gave a shit. As soon as we put the login in features in, because actually, what with the roadmap, we're like, no, we need to now start capturing users.
Yes.
As soon as we put that in, no one had a problem with it.
Yeah.
No, we're like, well, you need me to log in. Yeah, I'll just click 2 buttons. I'm logged in now. So now I can use your thing.
Yeah.
Because that was a personal thing for me that I let cloud the.
Yes.
So when I make jokes about like, the whole crack dealer mentality. Yeah, but that works in marketing. That works.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it's a free trial. It's like job boards will give you like a day, 2 days, 3 days, whatever, of a free trial or because otherwise, a demo.
Yes,
exactly.
A demo.
Because you think about your ticket price that you're putting on your 5-day boot camp, which is high ticket, and it absolutely should be because it's backed by 20 years worth of experience from a high performing marketing recruiter. They haven't got anything to go on short of your credentials on LinkedIn or whatever, right? But anybody can make their LinkedIn look good. Anybody can make it look like with smoke and mirrors that this person knows their stuff.
Yes.
And there's so many charlatans out there that do this sort of career coaching bollocks.
Yes.
You're going, no, here's a little taster of what I'm going to be doing.
Yes.
You want more of that?
Yes.
And you want to really are you really interested in looking for a new job? Or have you just had a bad day at work?
Yes.
If you've just had a bad day at work, watch my free webinar.
That's right,
Feel better about it. And then, I'll see you in 6 months.
Exactly.
Yeah, that kind of I get it.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I like that. I'm glad we had this conversation.
I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
David, talk to us.
We'll help you, don't worry.
Yeah. Release the loan. We're ready to go.
Okay, so look, the career coaching then. So who does it? What problem are you fixing?
How to get a marketing job. So how to.
But I'm already in a marketing job.
Okay, then how to get your most ideal marketing job.
Okay.
So how to make sure that you're assessing the company properly. So how to make sure you're not going to have a blip. How to make sure that you're going to be in the right...
When you say blip, as in like a blip in the CV, you end up there for 6 months and then you think this is crap.
Yeah. Yeah, how to make sure the culture of the business is right for you. The right questions to ask. So it's about how to find your ideal marketing job without... necessarily having to use recruiters without...
Get out. Get out.
That's it, we're done.
Yeah, stop rolling.
Maybe I'll cut that sentence out.
No, absolutely you should. No, but
I want to circle back to
everybody wants to use recruiters.
Yeah, that's the only reason, that's the point. And even if they don't know they haven't got a clue about anything, how to write a CV, how to tailor a CV, how to interview. It's solving the problem of how to get the right job for them, I suppose, because they don't know how to do it. Nobody spends enough time or money on your career, do they? If you think about, I'd like to play an instrument professionally, or I'd like to be an Olympian athlete, you hire a coach. But I didn't even think about hiring a coach for my career. I just do what I thought,
I've always been warmer to the idea of coaching than you have.
So the mentoring and coaching that I've had from my business was phenomenal. It was brilliant. I wish I'd done it earlier. And if you look at any single guru or successful person online, they've always had a coach or mentor. Every single one of them.
It's one massive Ponzi scheme. I'm joking.
I was like that though. I was very much like that. Life coach sounds a bit, you know, but
those guys are fucking. They're wankers. Like a lot of those guys are. But for people like, let's say
Mel Robbins though. Mel Robbins is brilliant. I love her. Mel Robbins. Listen to her podcast. Robbins. She's good. She is. It depends what you're into though.
Younger sister of Tony Robbins.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Not related, but similar thing.
Well, I mean, look, Benjamin is a sales coach, right? And he's a sales trainer. So look, with him, and seeing what he does and the fact that he's out there doing it, you can confidently be like, yeah, okay, he's somebody that'd be a good coach. But you are right. Not all. In the same way as not all good recruiters will make good managers, not all bad recruiters make bad coaches or bad managers. Because you could be...
You can't teach. If you can't do it, you teach.
I had a massive ding... Remember years ago, I had a massive ding-dong with that account, and she was going to teach. I was like, yeah, well, those I can't teach. But if you look at pro footballers, so Arsene Wenger, Alex Ferguson...
No, I know who you mean.
But I mean,
great cello players.
Arsene Wenger was the Arsenal coach for 20 odd years, right? And he didn't make it past French second tier football. So that's not to say he was bad football. By all accounts, against the rest of the world, he was a good footballer.
Yeah, but it's amazing.
Wasn't an elite level footballer, but was an elite level coach.
Yes. That's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah, and then you look at someone like
different skills.
Well, yeah, Frank Lampard, elite level footballer, but actually he's having a torrid time as a coach. So it's the same principle, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you also don't need to know something to be able to teach something. You just need to understand how to teach, don't you? Rather than
and know just a bit more than.
So who's your target audience then?
Because marketing people, anyone in marketing,
any
level, probably up to kind of director. It is probably aimed at more senior marketing manager down.
Okay.
I don't know why. That was always my sweet spot.
Yeah.
So it's always what I was worked with.
So okay, you're gonna have hundreds of people coming into your boot camp, right? You're gonna
hopefully,
you're gonna have hundreds of people that attend your boot camps. You're gonna have all these candidates who have got the Liz Pink's candidate journey, candidate process locked down.
Stamp of approval.
Yeah.
Why not take those candidates out to market then?
Well, I thought about this, and I was thinking of actually maybe because I'm going to be making enough money from that. No, I thought about this, and I thought about maybe having a network of recruiters that I've vetted, if you like, and then the candidates are vetted. So I provide if I give the candidates to the recruiters for a fee, maybe I don't know. I haven't worked that bit out yet, but there's got to be something there. I think there's definitely something there.
Okay, but you are a recruiter.
Yeah, because
she struggles with the BD side.
Yeah, and to be honest, although I said I would do recruitment again, I would if I had to. I think I'm a bit. Yeah.
Do you think maybe it's a case of? Well, also, actually, you've got to be fair these fee-paying customers of yours, who are the candidates.
Yeah.
If you're then caveating that at the end of the course, I will place you or attempt to place you.
Yeah.
The word just I will place you into your perfect job kind of thing. You're setting an expectation then and that's a lot of pressure to put on yourself.
Yes.
Because again, then what you don't want is people just doing your course because they're like, I've been looking for a job for 5 years. I can't get the job that I want. I'm going to do her course because she's going to get me a job at the end of the 5 days.
Yeah.
And it's like that's not right. You're trapped in the wrong.
That's right. And I'd have to be.
Or is it? Could you do recruitment in reverse? So your candidates are paying for your boot camp.
Yeah.
And then what you do is you just tap into your network and say, look, I'm not charging you a fee for it because I've already made my money from the course. Here's a really good candidate.
Ooh, yes, that's an interesting one. Or have it rec tools. Have like a subdivision of rec tools where I just put all the candidates on there.
We have got a
candidate portal of here you go. Here's some well trained marketing people ready to. So the problem you got is I suppose you've got confidentiality to deal with as well, right? Because you're again a subsection of your audience and a subsection of your bootcamp customer base are going to be people who are like passively looking for a job or as far as their employer is concerned, I'm not looking for a job, and they're just like, no, it's time for me to focus on me.
Yes.
And the last thing you want to be doing then is then touting them out on a public platform, like LinkedIn or another platform, and then be like, Liz, what the fuck?
Yeah, exactly.
You better get me a job now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't have to necessarily shout about it, but if you were to make a couple of quick phone calls to sort of marketing directors and CMOs and all that sort of stuff within your network, I'm sure you'd be able to have a conversation with them and say, hey, look, I've got this really, really good person that I think would be great for your business.
No, you're right.
So I want to just touch back on you mentioned that for those people who don't want to use recruiters, and it almost seemed like you shared that feeling. Are you that may be out of love with recruitment, that the whole agency mentality just is.
And there's just so many
shit recruiters.
Yeah,
there is.
Yeah. It's hard to find good people, and I think that I don't know why it's a hard job, isn't it? It's a difficult job to do, and it's an interesting set of skills that you need to be successful at it, and we always we struggle to find good people that either last 6 months or last 6 years. It's like one or the other, isn't it?
The problem you've got as well is it's the only sales job where your product says no to being sold.
Exactly.
You could spend an hour and a half talking to the candidate, do the consent form, go through the entire candidate journey, and then right at the end, when the client makes the offer, they're like, nah.
Or the worst is they take the job, and then the day before they're going to start, the email saying, I'm not going to go.
Yeah, I've had to think about it. Sudden change, whatever. Yeah,
that's me January the 3rd, 2019. $8,000 gone.
Yeah, the amount of nans that die as well is incredible, isn't it?
Isn't it? I mean, it's so dangerous looking for a job as well, because you always get a car crash, you always have these glass in your eye, all sorts of things.
Yeah. So, we had some interesting ones recently, haven't we?
Yeah, I think that it comes down to
understanding what they really want.
Well, why are they doing this though?
Yeah,
because there is the increase in dropouts, or there certainly seems to be a trend. A lot of people are moaning about this a lot more now. People's nans are always dying, and it's like, that usually tends to happen when there's a big pressure in the recruitment industry to make more fees and numbers.
Yes.
That's usually because the job flow is starting to get slow down, because the majority of businesses took their foot off the gas with BD, and so they're now having to catch up on numbers. And it's just it's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy of you stop doing the basics right, you started taking things for granted, and now all of a sudden you're having to force round pegs into square holes, and then you're getting scratching your heads when they're not turning up to interview or pulling out of your vacancies.
That's exactly it.
Because you think, I didn't do anything wrong. Well,
you did.
You didn't do the
basics.
Didn't
spend enough time understanding what they really want.
Yeah. But then there's a balance, because you don't need to spend an hour and a half.
10 hours. Yeah.
6 hours a week.
A day.
A week, I said a week, and I was like, that sounds about right, actually. 6 hours a day, you don't need to spend that. But okay.
Yeah.
So when does this all go live? What's going on then?
So the webinar's supposed to be live 6 weeks ago, but it's taken me a million years to do it. So I'm genuinely hoping to launch it by Monday. So it's going to be.
What's the delay?
It's just taken me new way of putting my information out there that I had no idea would take me so long. Really old MacBook. Working around family, these are excuses now, but procrastination. I had a major procrastination because I was so new.
Are you scared of taking lunch?
I'm scared of it not working, which is stupid because once I then started working really hard on it, it's like I should have just done it weeks ago. Why did I not do that? I was just scared of it not working, and it's so ridiculously stupid.
It's not though, because you've had a couple of knockbacks, haven't you? So it's not like.
Also, it means you give a shit.
Yeah.
If you were just banging things out for the sake of it, and they were like
some of these serial entrepreneurs,
knock this one out, that one's in the beach as well. Yeah,
I'd rather make sure I spent all the time getting it right.
Because you care enough. You're like, I don't want it to go. I need to do this properly, step by step, and it needs to all be perfect.
Absolutely, but that's also a downside, though. But yeah, that is it.
Because you know if like shit hits the fan, you can go and work in marketing recruitment tomorrow.
Yeah.
Somebody will hire you and give you a nice salary and like just buy your backbook and be like, all right, come and work for me.
Yeah.
Right? You know that.
Yeah.
But there's a reason you haven't done that.
Yeah. I tried it twice. Didn't work. I've gone. I'm that ex-business owner. Can't work for anyone else now. No, I could if I had to. I could.
No, but exactly. But you haven't chosen that route. What you've chosen is to go. No, I think this is the future, or this is where I'll see myself.
Yeah.
But the truth of the matter is, you're not trying to take over the world, though, are you?
No.
So again, it comes back down to if what you want to do can supplement the lifestyle that you want to live.
Yeah.
Then you've hit the lottery, and you really.
Exactly.
That's
what you need is a Sean. So I was kicking the can down the road with Rec Tools so we went officially live on like the 20th of July last year.
Yeah.
It was ready in March.
Yeah.
It was ready to put out in March.
Yeah.
But I was like, no, it's not quite ready yet.
Yeah,
I just need to do it. And eventually he was like, we need to put a date on it.
Yeah.
We need to put a date on it. This is when it launches.
That's David.
Be like, come hell or high water.
Yeah. It's
Tristan, whatever features work, whatever doesn't work, on your head be it.
Yeah.
It's got to go out.
Yeah.
Because we can't just keep doing this. And I was like, yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, to be fair, right, let's just, let's do it. And then when it went out, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, should have done it once again.
Why didn't I put this out?
That's exactly what I'm going to be like, I know. I've nearly finished recording. I've got 142 slides I've got. 142, but they go really quick, and that's what I've been advised to do. And I've had recording.
I hear slides and think Microsoft PowerPoint,
boring,
and I hear 142, and I think that's death by PowerPoint.
Yeah, you would do, but it's exciting.
You haven't used PowerPoint, have you? No. Yeah, because there's some real cool.
Yeah, it's not that cool though, but it's more the fact the pace is quick and the content should be interesting.
Yeah.
But it's proven though. I think
should be.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but you've got to back yourself on this, right? Because it's proven. You've done this, and by your own admission, candidates warm to you because you were taking them on a journey. Now what you've got rid of the added pressure of, I hope they take my fucking job, rather than taking my course content.
Now you're like,
and taking fucking their
what job you take, just take any job.
Yeah. Because I don't know. I mean, I probably haven't done enough research, but I couldn't find any other people doing similar things this near me, kind of thing. So I think more and more recruiters will go into this sort of thing if it works.
My concern is though that because recruitment businesses and the bad ones that we talk about tend to go where the money is. And if we start pushing this market towards candidates will pay. My concern is then people who offer a genuine service like yours will suffer. Because candidates will be like, everyone's just trying to charge me shit and I don't want to pay for it. Why should I pay to look for a job? And rightfully so.
Yes, absolutely. But it's not. It's going after a very small percentage of the market, and it's not people that.
No, you're not trying to take advantage of people.
No.
In a tough spot.
Not at all. No.
You're trying to tap into that market that see the value in what you offer.
Yeah.
And accept or have gone through the self-actualization piece of, I need someone to support me find a job because I'm ready, but I just don't know where to start, or I'm not hearing back from places. What's going wrong?
Exactly that.
We once met an FD, really successful FD, who just at the time, and this is pre-COVID as well, so at the time was struggling to find a role at that kind of level, to the point where it was like, I don't know what else I'm going to do. He ended up creating a practice for himself, like an AIMS practice. And just before he'd met us, he was like, I had actually paid this business something to the tune of about 10 grand, weren't it?
Yeah,
it was something like 10 grand.
Really?
Yeah, and they specialised in inverted commas in networking amongst execs.
Really?
And board level they had a board level network they claimed to have had, and the 10 grand was basically to buy into this network. And and he goes, I had a bit of savings from redundancies and stuff like that. He goes, I paid the 10 grand, went on 2 networking events, called them up and be like, look, I've networked with a few people, like, what's going on? And basically it was just the same sort of people, like other candidates who were trying to find jobs.
Basically, they were just a bunch of people who were all looking for jobs, with about maybe a handful of like hiring people, but they were like, well, we're not hiring at that level.
That's terrible.
So there are people out there that take, but I think a lot of that comes down to credibility as well. So if you've got 20 years worth of credibility that you bring with you.
Okay. That's what it's about. Is that it's 20 years worth of knowledge kind of wrapped into kind of one solution, if you like, or one way of doing things.
Do you think you'll broaden that out to more than just marketing?
Yeah, I think I'll do like product management, because that's, some people call that, in class that as marketing, some people don't, but I think I'll do more solid positions, because I was talking about this the other day. It's such a vast, you've done marketing, haven't you? It's such a vast topic. You've got your niche roles, your SEO manager job, your PPC manager job, and then you've got your generic marketing manager, and then everything in between, and then you've got also the different sectors. So you've got to know which line of questioning to ask for the role, and then what's aligned to the sector, and it's, I suddenly realised that this family tree of information that's just massive. I didn't realise when I actually sat and thought about it, like how each interview is unique, but like having to know what questions to ask. But everyone's got something that's
more important to them, right?
That's right.
Even within take an e-commerce manager or head of e-coms, that person might be driven more by the data analytics and the PPC spend than actually. Does the site do what it's supposed to do, and is it featuring in the relevant places? And it's so like, even within those niches, there's people who give a shit more about one part than the other.
So it's such a complex thing. So that's what keeps me interested. Like 12 years ago, nobody talked about and social media manager, that just wasn't a thing.
But that's one of the things that people don't tap into enough when it comes to marketing or recruitment, is how much recruiters actually know about their industry. And that's why the whole thing of, like, Alex Elliott said it to us years and years ago, he was like, look guys, you're spread too thin, because at the time we ended up somehow becoming a generalist agency. We started off in accountancy and finance, but then what kept happening was
we just kept going where the money was.
That's
and
right.
The money was just further and further away.
Yeah, clients kept saying, do you want to help us with this health and safety manager or this procurement manager?
I'll stick an ad out.
Yeah, go on then. Yeah. Well, this is it, and you're like, well, I'll read what it says.
The problem, it was me. It was me. 'Cause he'd be constantly BDing CFOs and FDs, and I'd be like, got to have a
I think I remember that.
I got a bio job on.
I think I remember you telling me that.
Yeah, I reckon I could fill this marketing director role.
Yeah.
And it's just it took us so far away from it. We ended up with a board full of jobs that were not a single one of them was finance.
No.
Yeah, we had legal jobs in fucking Manchester or something stupid like that. And Alex then said to us, he's like, guys, look, you need to be
focus.
inch wide, mile deep, and like that for me it was like, wow, okay, that's advice that I can really rest my hat on, because since then we then ended up refocusing back into accounting and finance. And I think you were doing Covent Warwick, weren't you? And I then decided I'm going to do Birmingham, or we were doing Temple Perm, or whatever it was. And you just become an expert in terms of everything. So
that's it.
If you've got a really good candidate who specialises in X, you know straight away, okay, well, I know that these 5 businesses in this location would definitely want to see someone like you.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's it.
And that's it. And I didn't have the balls to niche. I should have niched, because marketing's wide enough as it is. And
I was going to say, to people outside of marketing, they'll be like, well, you did niche. You're
yes,
marketing
that's right.
recruitment.
That's right.
But actually, further more than that, there's so much within just that marketing piece.
Yeah, absolutely. So I should. My next step was to choose a sector, but the range of customers was so vast, and they're all really good relationships. I didn't want to. I really struggled to actually have the balls to say, right, fuck off FedEx, I'm not working here anymore. I just wouldn't do it. So that I couldn't do it.
It's a hard brand to walk away from, though, isn't it? Really, if you're talking about that sort of brand, it's a hard brand to walk away from.
We were small but mighty.
Yeah.
So I didn't because I did have the relationships, the good ones from before. So I had the good big brands I was working with, and I just couldn't pick one, 'cause I could fill them. Yeah. But I totally get. I mean, I wasn't a specialist in one way, but then not in another. So I could have been a
you were a specialist within marketing, but you were a generalist marketing.
That's
recruiter.
right, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
if there's such a thing.
But then, but you're right. But then that's hopefully helped me lend itself well now to what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
Because I'm able to help everyone in marketing.
So you go live on Monday.
Yep. I'm gonna.
We will check.
Okay.
Lucky for you, this doesn't go out for maybe 6 weeks from now. Right?
Okay.
So you should have 6 weeks worth of pipeline by this time this hits. And so I'm expecting to put this out as hey, here's a podcast from Liz.
Yes.
Here's all the links to all her stuff that she's doing and her.
Do you know what though? I'll tell you what we're gonna do.
That better happen.
Yeah.
I'll hold you to this.
Nathan's gonna clip some of this podcast. And we're going to start putting it out on Monday, and we're going to talk about how you're going live.
Soon. Yeah. Talk exclusive. Okay, and so what's going to be your kind of outreach plan for candidates then? So how do they get hold of you, or how are you going to reach out to them?
Good question.
Haven't thought about that
yet. The plan is to start with. It's going to be I'll use my network, so LinkedIn, and then paid ads. So YouTube ads was because they're already watching a video, so being interrupted by an advert, you're more likely to watch another video. I know I did. So that's
okay. So you're kind of targeting if you're looking for a job.
Yes. So marketing people. Or
have you done that sort of stuff before?
No,
If you need help with it, Nathan's the man.
Cool, thank you. I've got this training thing I'm following. I'm bound to get stuck.
Can show you the ropes and stuff like that. Yeah,
that'd be amazing.
He's good at that sort of stuff.
That'd be wicked. Thank you. Yeah, because it's all new to me. That is, but it's been so interesting, all this new stuff. But that's what it's taken me quite a long time. So I'm doing. I haven't got to that module yet. I'm doing that next week. So
have you thought about putting an ad out on like Indeed or something?
No, I haven't. That's a good idea. Yeah,
that'd be different, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Well, these are people already looking for a job, right?
Yes. Can I use your ads? I haven't got any ads.
Yeah, of course you can. We'll sort that out off camera. Okay, fine. So again,
cool.
I'm assuming you're going to have a website that they can contact you on. You're open to connecting with anybody on LinkedIn as well, right?
Yeah. Of course.
LinkedIn Lions.
Yeah, that was so lame.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Remember that?
I've got people on my network that are like, LinkedIn Line, 24k plus connections. I'm like, that sounds horrible.
Yeah, and not niche and not targeted enough. Not
I accidentally refresh every now and then. I'm like, where's that post gone? That was really funny. I've got to find it.
Yeah, you can't, can you?
Luckily, it's usually Recruiter Life. I like his stuff. Cool.
He's slowing down a bit.
Or she. Could be a she.
They.
It's definitely not a he. It's a he. Right, well, look, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having
me. We
me.
will be checking up.
Yeah, please do.
Right, so, we'll be 6 weeks forward from now, and we want to be able to go to the link, go to the link down there, and,
that would be great.
Have a look.
Yes, please do.
So, your marketing...
Career coach.
Mm-hmm. Your marketing career coach.
Yeah. Work in progress is what I kind of came up with, literally.
No,
so
it makes sense.
It's
SEO friendly. It makes sense. Look,
yeah.
So if you're in the market looking for a job, or if you're just curious about what Liz is up to these days, it's your market.
You've got about hour and a half.
Have an hour and a half with her.
Chat to her on Sunday for hours. Yeah.
Right, there you go. Look, thank you so much for coming on. Really appreciate it, especially on the short notice.
Yeah,
And we'll love to have you back on again in the future.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Hopefully, when this is out and when by the time you're all up and running, you can come in and tell us how good it's doing.
Exactly.
Good stuff.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate your time.
Cheers, Liz.
Yes.